welcome back to Hermitcraft. All right. Okay, let's address something right off the get-go. And actually, I need to go upstairs. No, I need to go downstairs. So, yeah, I have some ink bags or sacks or whatever the heck they are. Yeah, those things. I need to get down here and grab myself some feathers. There we go. Oh, how about that? I have just exactly as many feathers as I do ink sacks. Great. Now I need to, well, frankly, I need to ditch some of this stuff and garbage that I'm carrying. So I'm just going to throw it in here and, no, don't give my food away. Yeah, throw some of this in there. Give myself a little bit of room. Alright, that'll work. Now, I can take my books and my ink sacks and my feathers and get ye old written books, your old book and quill. Alright, because apparently, when Mojang set up the lectern, they neglected to make it possible to set a plain old, unwritten, regular, generic book on the bloody thing. Which, honestly, I don't see that. Because I really sincerely and honestly believe, and I'm not raging here, by the way, because somebody thought that I was. I'm not raging. I'm just thinking, you know, a regular book should do that too. You know, and maybe you could have an option of having it closed or open or something like that. But since I have learned my error, my mistake, I'm going to go ahead and put some of these in place because it does help complete the look, very much so. As a matter of fact, I will probably end up making up some more lecterns, like, honestly, I could see having something like that here in security, especially given that there is a 4-cell prison in here, you know. And, by the way, what somebody said about these grindstone things kind of having a camera sort of look, you know, kind of, sort of they do. Like they're hanging from a ceiling, and if that ceiling tile could rotate and pivot around, and the grindstone itself just kind of rotate up and down, and the rest of it rotate around, it would very much look like or be useful as a security camera kind of thing. It really would. And I don't know, maybe I'm just going to use it for that, wishing I could place it corner-wise, because that would be perfect, because then the cell could have one, say, up there in the corner, looking back here into the cell, covering the whole area where the person sleeps and so on. And if you want to really be mean about it, you put another one here pointing this way so that there is no place in the cell they can go where they're not being watched. Yeah. Absolutely. All right, so that's a thing. And I am going to be looking into more uses of lecterns, especially lecterns with books on them, because I think there is a good potential with that. I like the idea, and, you know, I just wish that, really, seriously, I wish a regular plain book would work on there, because I consider the fact that it doesn't to be a serious bug or oversight. Yeah, really. Anyway, there is another thing I want to address real quick, because I only just touched on it previous episode. I mentioned that the kelp system was getting close, very close to being almost totally full. Well, obviously, of course, it has been a few days since then, and it's full. It is totally, completely, absolutely filled to the brim. Every space, every slot in that thing, every slot in the system has a stack of kelp in it. Every single one. And I did a little bit of counting and did some math. And what we have here is a total of 42 double chests. And that's just along in here. I didn't, oh crap, it is just along there. Oh crap. 42, okay, so 43, 44, 45. Crap, I gotta redo my math. I'll be right back. Alright, I corrected my math to allow for the chests down there. Those 3 chests that I didn't count and should have. And what we have here is a grand total of 45 double chests. Let's multiply that times 54 slots in such a chest. And you end up with a grand total of 2,430 stacks of kelp stored in chests. And then you have to remember that each hopper has 5 slots, which means it can hold 5 stacks. And so I counted up the hoppers, and there are a grand total of 535 hoppers, or stacks, stored in hoppers. There's 107 hoppers times 5 slots each equals 535 stacks of stuff stored in hoppers, for a grand total of 2,965 stacks of dried kelp in the system, or of regular kelp, excuse me. And that means a grand total of 189,760 individual pieces of kelp. Once it's run through the furnace and dried, that works out to 21,084 dried kelp blocks. And then, of course, you're not going to have them individual, so that's 329 stacks of dried kelp. That is the current potential of this thing. And of course, it's still running, so it's actually going to end up producing a whole lot more than that before the storage buffer finally is empty. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this later, because it's going to take a long time, and I'd actually like to get this episode out today. But what I will do, I will start the thing up. I'll flip the lever over there on the piston and start this thing running. Note the time. And then I'm just going to hang out, coming down here every now and then to craft dried kelp into blocks. And well, honestly, first 27 stacks need to go in there. Because right now, there is just under 4 stacks of dried kelp block in each of these feeder hoppers. And another stack in each of the smokers. And with the smokers being more efficient than regular furnaces, this stuff ought to do pretty good. Now, let's see. Let's see. Do I have this? Yeah, this is probably wired up to have dried kelp go into there. Yeah, I'm sure it is. But, yeah, dried kelp blocks. And currently, it doesn't seem that there is any in there. All right, that's good. So what I don't put into the machine over here to feed its own furnaces will go into the storage system and just sit there and hang out. Now, I might also decide what somebody suggested was that bamboo can be used in the furnaces as well. So what I should probably do is make a change on my farm up there that produces it to have the bamboo sent down here into the filter system and route that into what provides fuel for this array of furnaces. I should probably do that. Okay, now, what else did I have in mind here? I don't know. I'll have to be back. Okay, I did have another thing. I just had to chase around a little bit to find the pieces I needed. Another very good viewer suggestion that had to do with the lamps in here. And that basically I could... oh, hang on a minute. Crafting table right over here. Let's do this and do it sort of kind of right. Oh, heck. I didn't pick up enough glass. Doggone it. Alright, fine. I can... Alright. They suggested the idea of using white or yellow glass blocks as lampshades, or something like that. And the idea that I'm seeing here is that, like, for example, the yellow one could be a lampshade where the lamp is turned off. And a white one could be a lampshade where the lamp is turned on. And so I'm thinking what I'll do is later I will get myself a bit of white glass, or maybe white stained glass, and pop that into one of these to do that. Now, as for suggestions for these rooms here, there's been several good ones, and I'm going to figure out something to do with that sometime soon, and then go ahead and get the rooms dug out off camera, and then we'll get in there and try to actually do something that doesn't suck. Hopefully. You know how that works. Okay, in any event, apologies once again, and I should have said this at the beginning of the video. Apologies once again for background noise being a royal pain in the butt. Not much I can do. Temperature is up over 90 degrees, and when it's like that, I do not turn my air conditioning off for recording. And yeah, unfortunately, I can't change my recording setup either. So yeah, I just have to deal with it and clean the sound up on the mic track as best I can with Audacity. In any event, thanks for watching. Take it easy. I am out of here.